Good morning, everybody. Nice to see also some faces that we had 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I will start to share my screen. We also have presentation. So please let me know when you can see it properly. I will try to put in a full mode now. Please let me know when it's fine with you, the presentation.
Yeah, it's fine. We can see.
Thanks. So good morning again. The session, I would like to explain how it will work today. So I would like to have more or less 50 minutes just for presenting the main focus of today, which is the value proposition, especially one tool that looking also at the specific results that we collected through the Slido. Most of you, it's in the pre-seed stage. So I think that this tool, the value proposition canvas, it's pretty useful for starting to test your assumptions behind the value proposition, but also maybe those that are in other stages. I guess when you select other, maybe you are in a more mature stage because, we were pre-seed, seed, and other. So maybe you are more in a stage where you already start to sell, but maybe, I don't know if you already scale or not. But in case the value proposition canvas, we will see it's something that it's very relevant for you as, CEO, as a C-level member in your organization startup to use in a strategic approach. The session, as I was saying, 50 minutes of this. Then, of course, there will be questions in the middle. So I don't want to wait after 50 minutes you raising questions. I would like more you to stop me, okay? So raise your hand or unmute yourself and raise the questions whenever you have a question, okay? So don't be shy, and there are no stupid questions at all. And then after this, first part, the last 30 minutes more or less, I would like to dedicate to review the link canvas of those that were on board last 2 weeks ago. So maybe I just write down the name of the people. So if it was maybe Lavinio was there, Massi and Miha, maybe you were on board 2 weeks ago. So I think that you received the link canvas also by mail, shared by Giacomo and Nora. So if you exercise yourself with the link canvas, I would like to give you, these 30 minutes and review with you. So also the others, maybe if you know the tool, the link canvas, or if you never played with the link canvas, maybe looking at how the others, exercise with it can help you maybe also in exercising yourself. I don't know, Nora and Giacomo, if you already shared with also the others that maybe were not present in the session 2 weeks ago, but were registered, if you share with them also the link canvas. So if all the others, okay?
Yes, the majority of them, yes. Yeah.
Okay,
because
so
they are keep subscribing.
Okay.
So maybe 2 of them that subscribed yesterday, they didn't receive it yet, but all the others, yeah, they have the material.
So yeah, basically it's this tool. We will see this let's say review together, and in order for you also maybe if you want to work in the tool also in after the session and start to play with the specific situation. Okay. Okay, so this was a little bit the structure. Now going into the topic, the value proposition. Okay, so maybe those that participated 2 weeks ago already know the answer, but maybe for those that are new, I would like to ask you this question, or if you are aware about which is the first mistake that startups, especially early stage startups, that want to bring a new solution in the market are failing. Did you know which is the main reason for the startups to fail? Maybe not those that already were there 2 weeks ago, maybe somebody else that it's new for this session. Did you know which is the first reason for startups failure? You can guess whatever you want. Any idea? It's about creating a product, a service, whatever you want, that nobody wants. Okay, so if you can have the best kind of technology, you can have the best idea, you can have the best kind of thing you have in the scratch or you're building, but if this is not stick with a specific need from the market, meaning customers, you are failing, or you are not succeeding, let's say. It's a big challenge. There are famous, let's say, we saw last 2 weeks ago, failures also from big companies that you may think that they never made a mistake, but they did in launching something that people or customers were not needing. So why it's a big challenge? Because when you start focusing on your technology, on your idea or whatever, and you think this is the best one in the world, trust me, when we are working with projects, European projects, when we are working with research teams from universities, when we are working with early stage startups, speaking with the CEO or with the leading people behind the project, they're always focusing on the result. They say, okay, this is the best thing in the world. Nobody is available in order to copy us. We are the best. But if you're focused on your technology, your product, it's a waste of time and resources, because a lot of time you are just focused on in your lab, looking at your technology, and you are not understanding what is happening in the market, okay, which is happening from your customer side. And this leads in one direction, which is that you will fail. Something that, of course, you will not fail immediately, but your journey, your entrepreneurial journey, called this way, will not be successful. And if you're a CEO of a company, if you're leading a research team to launch something in the market, you would like to succeed. So you're paving a way to succeed. And that's why, focusing on your product or your technology only, it's something that will lead you to fail. A very important tip, maybe you can print it and put in your desk. You need to fall in love with the problems, okay, that you're solving, not with the solution, your technology. If you're aiming to solve a problem or a group of problems, then you are using the right approach. If vice versa, you are only in love with your solution, then the journey will be hard, very hard, okay? This was an example that we discussed last week. So even Apple, that as the most, maybe one of the most successful companies that we have today, they launched this, Newton, that was a sort of notes taker, and it was not successful. It was in the 90s. The main reason that this kind of product was not fixing a specific customer's problem. And also, the Apple recognized this. So that's why this product was immediately taken out from the market. But after they spent a lot of money in developing this product, they think, the engineers, it was the best solution, the best technology. But when they start to sell in the market, they realize that there was not specific problems to be fit with this solution, okay? This is a famous example, but there are tons of this in the history. So the best approach for creating value from customers' perspective, so lowering the risk for you to launch a business, because you have plenty of risks when you're launching a business, but the main risk is that you need to survive. We discussed some statistics. Imagine that I think 80%, if I recall correctly, of the business are failing after 2 years. 80%. Okay? So you need a better approach. And the better approach is focusing on the problems, okay? We discussed it 2 weeks ago, the lean approach. We discussed about the lean canvas as a strategic tool you as CEO or leading research teams that are keen to develop and bring to the market a solution you need to use, okay? One of the key aspects when working around the lean canvas, it's about the central part of the canvas, which is the value proposition, okay? Why is important the value proposition? Basically, it's the, let's say, link between your solution and the customer's, okay, problem. And this is very important because the value proposition is describing the values that you are offering to your customers through your solution. And the most important thing is that these specific values you are embedding in your solution are matching customers' problems, okay? So it's very important that in this perspective, in this slide, the message is you have a solution, you have a technology, you have a product, you have a service, whatever you want. You create a value proposition behind. You are spending your money, you're spending your time in developing a solution which is embedding values, and these values are sticking with the customer's problems and needs. This is the main message of this slide. Is this clear? Question, doubts about this? Because I think this is pretty important that you know this approach is clear and stick in your mind. Again, any doubts, questions, please stop me. This is always a slide from the previous workshop. In this slide, basically, you see the different stages for customer development. All of you are basically in pre-seed, as you said. If you're in pre-seed, basically you are in a customer discovery, customer validation phase. When you are succeeding in these two steps, basically then you can scale, you're executing, and then you can create customer, you can spend tons of money marketing or whatever, and then you can scale in the market. But until you are not reaching, let's say, the customer validation, so what we call the problem solution fit, you cannot scale. And in this stage, what is crucial for you is to use tools that can help you to validate your assumptions, okay? When you start a business, you start with assumptions, okay? So you think, okay, these customers have this problem. This is something based on your expectation, on your experience, on your guts feelings, but then you need to test. You need to test this in the market, speaking with your customers and adopters, okay? And tools that can help you in doing this, like the link canvas we saw last week, but also the value proposition canvas we will see in a moment, are crucial for you in order for getting out of your startup, interacting with early adopters, understanding if the link canvas and the value proposition canvas, these tools are helping you in driving and setting up a pathway for you to create a successful business, okay? So it's very important that you are working around this approach, testing your assumptions, okay? This is very important because, again, everything starts with the problem, with the customer problems, okay? And you need to test if these problems are really faced by this group of customers. And this is, let's say, the minimum base of achievement, which is the problem solution, okay? Then, of course, you will have the product market fit. This is something from the previous workshop, meaning is there a market behind this problem or group of problems? So are these problems faced by a big group of customers? Then, of course, if you are also reaching this specific level, then you can start to scale, because you have understanding which is your market, you understand which is the best channel to reach these customers. Then you can have a big investment in marketing communication in order to approach the big wave of your customers, okay? But till this moment, you are testing. Link canvas and value proposition canvas are strategic tools for you to help testing your assumptions, okay? Yeah, Marcia, I think that you raise your hand, please.
Yes, I have a question here. How much time should we put in this phase, you know, in the research phase?
I think this is pretty subjective. Okay, so there is not a specific, you know, let's say length. Of course, if you need to plan yourself, I would suggest that you need to spend, you know, I don't know, 12 weeks more or less, 3 months, in order, you know, for you to stick with a specific, you know, group of assumption to as first starting point. And then you need to use, you know, specific, let's say, metrics. We saw also the box key metrics in the link canvas, which are helping you to say, okay, these are, you know, the main assumptions behind. And you need to start to test the riskier assumptions, let's say, okay? So the problem, then customers, and then after you reach the problem solution, you go ahead with all the other assumptions, okay, that in the link canvas. But usually, again, you can fix as 12 weeks, and then you need to fix a specific, okay, let's start with the problems. You go outside, talk with the early adopters, let's say, group of people, and you say, okay, the key metric is to interview or to have one-to-one discussion or to launch this, I don't know, Google survey to 20, 30 early adopters, which is the key metrics of success in order for moving ahead and say that this assumption is satisfied. Let's say that 80% of these people will reply in a certain way. If after collecting the results, you said, okay, 80%, you have 85%, you move ahead. But if you're not succeeding in this KPI that for you, it's the minimum level for going ahead, then you need to come back. Ask yourself why, for example, this assumption around the problem is not, you know, the right one, which is wrong. It's about that the customers is about, you know, that maybe it's not time saving, but it's more another kind of problem that realized from the survey that maybe they're looking for a cost saving rather than a time saving. Again, it's always a matter, you know, of subjective behind, because there is no recipe for everybody. But again, I would suggest that if in 12 weeks you spend your time to test this, you will just focus on this, meaning that, you know, one of the team must be focused on this, okay? And then maybe I said 12 weeks will be enough in order for running this customer discovery, you know, phase. Then, of course, for the validation, for the problem, the product market fit, it takes more time. But 12 weeks for the customer discovery would be enough for creating a first level of basement that is strong. Okay?
Oh, okay, thank you. So basically, this circle goes on in this 3 months, let's say, more or less, until we have a clear idea. And then
exactly. Until you have a KPI that it's coming from the replies from the customers that are sticking with your assumption, okay? So we'll see this also with the value proposition canvas, how it works, but the same approach also for the link canvas. So that's why it's important that, you know, you spend your time to talk with your early adopters, let's say, in this stage.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Other question? Somebody else? I don't know if in the chat. No. Okay. So yeah, maybe I don't know, somebody else. Okay, Lavinia. Thanks, Lavinia, for sharing, you know, for this research. Okay, moving ahead, otherwise we are I would like just you to share this this specific quote from I don't know if you know Steve Blanca, which is you know, I think one of the main author behind the lean canvas and the lean approach. It's authors of very famous books like, you know, Epiphany and, you know, the startups manual. Maybe I need to let's wait, because I didn't share the audio. So if you give me a sec, I will share again, because otherwise you cannot listen to what he's saying. And now I will come back to the slide. Sorry for this, you know, tech. Okay, here we are. So just a sec for you to, it's just 20 seconds, okay? For is giving his importance and his quote around the value proposition, okay? So I will share with you.
In a Horizon 3 activity or a startup that is something new, all you have is a series of untested hypotheses. That is, it's a fancy word for saying that your business model on day one is mostly guesses. Maybe you have some facts about what the core technology is, or maybe you actually own and know these customer segments, but everything else is just kind of guessing. And it turns out that the first two things that you really want to nail down is, you know, what product am I building for what customers, and what customers want this product? And that combination of product and customer is called product market fit. And then those are the 2 out of the 9 boxes in the business model canvas. And again, in a large company, you actually might have a set of hypotheses or guesses who they are and what features they are, but it's not till you get outside the building and actually both talk to those customers and build them what are called minimum viable products, that is iterative and incremental prototypes, will you actually be sure. But the first thing to nail down is, do we have product market fit correct?
Okay, so I hope that you get it. It's, again, something we already discussed it in the previous slides. But again, the importance of, you know, talking with your customers, early adopters, testing your assumptions, okay? And this approach, it's, you know, the lean approach and the lean canvas and the value proposition canvas are 2 tools that are helping you in testing this, okay? So this is something that, you know, maybe I would like to cover very quickly, or because we have already, it's, you know, 10:36, but I would like just to explain how it works, you know, this how customers buy and use the products. So I would like just to cover in 5 minutes, because I think it's pretty important for you to understand how your customers, that, you know, could be, you know, physical people, or could be also organizations or whatever, okay? So how they are buying and use products. So if I ask you your question now, how many products did you buy today? So how many products did you buy today? Till, I don't know, now it's 10:36. I don't know, maybe 1, 2, because your breakfast, so near 0 probably. But how many products did you use today? From the moment you wake up, of course. Maybe, I don't know, at least 5. Coffee machine, I don't know, the toothpaste, maybe the car, or, you know, the transport. So as you know, it's greater than 10 probably, or maybe at least 3 or 4. So as you see, you know, it's important to ask yourself, what causes people to buy new stuff, and why do we keep using what we already have? I think it's important for you to understand this, okay? Because you need to sell something, and you need to understand, you know, what people leverages are activating for let them to buy new things, rather than keeping using what they have. Because it's important to understand this mindset that if somebody needs to buy something new, they need to shift from what they already have, alternative solution, and move into what you are proposing, something new, This is maybe, you know, the journey of a person that, you know, is a trigger event, meaning that this person is, you know, facing a situation where he or she needs, you know, to do something. So imagine that you're hungry. So when you're hungry, you start to look around for a solution. So, and your goal when you're hungry is, you know, to be satisfied. So to not be not more hungry. So be satisfied with yourself. And how you can do this? Existing solution. Again, maybe you can, you know, eat a sandwich, you know, what is actually existing in order for reaching this outcome. Okay, so be satisfied. When you are eating your sandwich, you are happy because, you know, it's tasty, you're satisfied, you're hungry. And this mechanism, it's creating an habit. What does it mean? That if you're eating sandwich when you're hungry at, I don't know, 10 in the morning, all your days in, you know, 3 years of your life, then this is something creating an habit. Okay? So imagine yourself or organizations or whatever doing these activities when they're facing a triggering event. You have a new brilliant idea that you have a new milkshake, okay, a new better solution that you would put in the market, okay, a milkshake that you would like to sell to people when they're hungry. So you need to pull people, okay, you need to pull people to buy your solution, to buy your milkshake. What's happening is that there are two forces that are inhibiting people in buying your milkshake. Old habits, because I used to buy my sandwich or to create homemade sandwich, and the fact that it's a new product, I don't know it. When I'm buying something new, it's, you know, something that, you know, I'm not used to, and I a little bit, you know, create this new anxiety, okay? So given this, how are you causing a switch? Meaning how I can, you know, leave to buy my sandwich and start to buy the milkshake a new company is putting in the market. There must be a better product 10 times. When I say better product, that could be 10 times cheaper, 10 times tasty, 10 times healthier. I don't know, but this is something that needs to be proved. Or there should be a better marketing, meaning that you are doing a so beautiful marketing activities that, you know, you spend a lot of money and, you know, you convince me. In order for overcoming what is now in all customers, but I'm saying not only physical people, we are having this exercise for physical people, but we can have also for organization. In order for overcome, you know, habits that have generated by the whole alternative solutions. What's happening usually that incumbents have better odds of winning because they already are in the market, they already are selling their sandwich, and people, it's more prone to use still sandwich rather than the new incomers with alternative solution, okay? What is important that most of the time, this is just for statistics, first movers typically fail. What does it mean? That, you know, as you're bringing a new solution in the market and you have people with old habits, with alternative solutions that are satisfying already these specific problems, usually the first movers can fail. So Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Google, this kind of, you know, organization, for example, weren't first movers. There were other organizations that tried before them. They didn't succeed. So a better way in order for you to push, let's say, this shift, in order for moving organizations, people in adopting new solutions. So what's happening is that your customers or the specific group of customers, it's changing the outcomes, the desired outcomes, okay? As I was saying before in the sandwich, I'm hungry, I need to find a way to get satisfied, I use a sandwich. But now imagine that I don't want to always be satisfied, but I want that there is something that is also healthy, okay? So I put this new kind of outcome in the specific, perspective for the customers. So this kind of perspection. So what that's happening, that customers are looking for new solutions. So the sandwich is not healthy. I need to find a new healthy solution. So I'm pushing for new solutions. And when it's happening, you are positioning, in this case, this example, your protein milkshake as a game creator. So with my solution, I offer you a 3 times healthier solution rather than your sandwich. And the new forces of pushing of the customers and pulling by your side that you are the company are greater than the old habits, the alternative solutions. And in this kind of approach, you will be, easier in your entrepreneurial journey because, you position yourself, you understand your customers, new kind of outcome, desire, and then you can succeed. Or vice versa, what's happening is another situation. What's happening is that the existing solutions are not working anymore. Imagine the COVID. What's happened in the COVID? Basically, if I would like to have fun or to have entertainment situation, if before I was moving to the theater, cinema, but the existing solution didn't work anymore. So people were looking for new alternatives. And in this case, for example, Netflix, Amazon Studios, or whatever, they succeed because they arrived at the moment where the existing solution were not working. People was pushing for new solution for entertainment, and Netflix was in the right moment giving a solution that we can define pain relievers because they were going to satisfy the pain of people of having, entertainment moments because the alternative solution were not working anymore. So it's very important to understand this perspective. So you have big forces for people to not buy your solution, alternative solutions, anxiety, but then you need, to understand this situation of positioning as pain relievers, solving a problem that the others cannot do, or game creators, that you can create expectations, that you can satisfy the new expectation from your customers, and the other cannot do this. In these two perspectives, the forces for people to buy your solution are better than if you are trying to, let's say, compete with your incumbents that are in the market now with alternative solutions, not creating better gain expectations or solving better the problems that they are facing. This is easier, let's say. So it's important that you understand this kind of specific, perspective, because, sometimes, this is not clear, and, you say, well, people is not buying my solution. So you need to understand this perspective. People, if they are facing a problems or if they would like to reach a new outcome, a new desire, they are already using some new alternatives. And what is important that you understand properly your customers, okay? And understanding this and offering a specific solution that is fitting the new outcomes desired or feeling better the problems, then for you it's easier, to succeed. Otherwise, again, if you are competing with Apple in the pricing, for example, or other incumbents that, that for the pricing, it's something that people are not caring or where you cannot easy compete with, then of course, your journey, it's not going in the right direction or in not succeeding, okay? I hope that this sort of, mindset of now customers, organizations, and people are buying new stuff. I hope that it's clear in your perspective. Again, if you have questions, doubts, please raise your hand. Value proposition canvas now. I don't know how many of you read this book, The Value Proposition Design. I recommend it. It's from Strategizer, which they also have, the business model canvas. They have another very interesting book. So why it's important value proposition canvas? Because this specific value tool, it's helping you to have a customer-inspired innovation. What does it mean? That you are working around a specific customer's profile. So you have your guess, your assumption about who could be your specific customers. And then looking at the specific customers, you start to analyze the profile of these customers. This means which are the trigger events that these customers are facing, and which are the pains and the gains that are behind these trigger events. Then, once you analyze this customer profile, you can go back to your value map, which is embedding your solution, meaning which is the solution I can offer to this customer profile, which can match the pains and the gains of the customer profile. And this helps you to create a solution in the left side, which is sticking with the customer profile on the right side. Okay? It's very powerful. So that's why it's very important for you to use this kind of solution of tool when you are start interacting with your customers. Okay? So the famous problem solution fit. Okay, here you are, value proposition canvas. As I was saying, customer's profile, right side. You have the jobs, the trigger events, means that which are the activities that this customer is doing when he needs or she needs to solve a problem or need to create new desired outcomes. Again, the sandwich before, I'm hungry, it's lunchtime, I need to find a solution in 10 minutes because maybe I have a break of 10 minutes. So you need to describe, put in the head of your customers, how this customers is behaving when facing a specific situation, and which are the steps this customers is, passing through. Again, I, start to realize that I'm hungry. I need to adjust the minutes. I need to do this and that. So all the activities. And then behind this specific trigger event, you start to realize which are the gains and the pains. So the gain is that maybe, again, I would like to find something healthy. I would like to do this. I can just pay, with the app. So I would like just to order something to the app. Pain. So maybe the solutions that are, now are very, expensive. So all the kind of, looking at the specific activities she's doing, which are the gains and the pains. Then when you fill out this first area, the customer profile, you move back to the value map. You start with the product and services, the left side box, listing, okay, which are the product and services that I can offer to fix these specific gains, pains, and jobs of the customer. So a proteic milkshake that can be ordered only through app, something like this. Which are the gain creators and the pain relievers? These are the values, the features of your product or service that you are attaching to it in order for fixing, for satisfying the gains and the pains that your customers are facing in the right side. What is crucial, and same crucial, when you are drafting this out and you are putting with notes, gains and pains, then you need to check that gain creators and pain relievers are matching the gains and the pains. This means that in gain creators, if I'm creating artificial intelligence, development of app or whatever machine learning application, if I'm developing this, is because as gain, there is specific gain of not paying with cash, for example, ordering through app. This is something, again, customers are having. If, for example, the pain is that it's expensive what is in the market now, as pain relievers, I need to say cheaper, for example. But what is important? Because if there is this match, there is consistency. And the consistency of what is the customer's problems, expectations are satisfied, then you are building something people want. Okay? This is crucial. Okay, this consistency exercise once you fill out this value proposition canvas. Is this clear? I don't know how many of you already are using this, honestly. So please let me know in case you're already using this. But again, if you are using this, make this consistency exercise. Okay? Again, if you have doubts, questions, please let me know. So this is something we already discussed. Okay? So value map, benefits, features that you design for attracting customers in your solution, customers profile, the characteristics that you're observing, assuming by looking at your customer's profile. Okay? You start always with a customer profile. You can have sticky notes. I will share with you through Nora and Giacomo the tool after the session, so you can print it and use the sticky notes or whatever, and then start to map out your customer profile. My suggestion is doing this with your co-founders. If you have co-founders, do this together because it's an important exercise. Then again, you need first of all to select the customer segment. Which is the customer segment you're focusing on? This is the first question. So the value proposition canvas is just for one customer segment. If you have different customer segments, you need to create different value proposition canvas. Okay? Then identify the customer jobs, trigger events, the pains, the gains, and then what is important is that you need to assume in the first stage, but then to test the prioritization, meaning that which are the most relevant activities, the most relevant pains, the most relevant gains of this customer. Because maybe you have a list of 3 pains, 3 gains, but which is the most relevant one in the list? You have this, again, profile of customer. The segment, we discussed this last time in the link canvas, okay? So customer segment in this case for this exercise is people, organizations, if you are B2B or B2C, that are showing similar characteristics, okay? And you can embed in the same value proposition when you're offering your product, okay? So similar characteristics, what does it mean? Demographics, age, gender, income, ethnic background, ethnics, geographical, if I'm in the same area or whatever, behavioral, or graphics also, attitudes, behaviors. Again, you can map your specific profile using different, let's say, variables. But again, it's very important. So I'm just saying, if I need to sell, as I was saying before, the milkshake to the protect milkshake in the market, maybe I will start to look for people that it's going to gym or it's would like to be fit, and it's, I don't know, between 20 or 25 and 40, male, maybe, I'm just guessing, and can have a specific income because maybe they are looking for these solutions. So starting from this, I'm creating a specific customer profile, and I know that I need to reach them out and test these assumptions, okay? But it's very important that you're not saying, okay, I'm going to public authorities or I'm going to households. It's too generic. Be try to specific as much as possible based on your guts, on your feelings, okay? I think that, we have a question from Mario. I'm looking at the in the chat. Okay. Mario is asking, what if the cost of our idea that we validated is 30K, grants are up to 10K, and no VC or angel wants to invest or stop without revenue? Well, maybe Mario, if you can elaborate more, if you want, but if I get correctly this question, you say that you are looking for money. It seems that angels are not in, or VCs are not investing in startups without revenue, right? Your experience. You there, Mario? Okay, maybe I can try to elaborate based on, okay, yes. Well, I don't know to whom you talk with about this, you know, your, you know, in these stages that you are. Well, if they are real business angels or if they are real early stage VCs, usually, I'm saying usually, they know the rules that in this field. And if they are saying we are investing in pre-seed companies, pre-seed, you know, startups, and you have no revenues, well, this is something that must not be scared them, okay? My always first tip when you start to fundraise is always look and talk with people that are really understanding this ecosystem. Because a lot of time, maybe you are talking with people that they are not real players or they are not investing in your stage. Because a lot of time you see people, okay, venture capitalist, business angel, but then, you know, when you are looking at their portfolio of investments, when you start to talk with them, you realize that immediately they are not those kind of investors profile you are looking for. Maybe
so loyal or VC investments.
Sorry, Mario?
So we should look only for pre-seed VC investors.
Yeah, but well, there are pre-seed investors, but you can find it. I don't know where you're based geographically, in which country, which city, but you know, I think that nowadays in all the ecosystem there are pre-seed investors. Business angels are more prone to do this because for their specific size ticket that they can give you available, but also there are early stage VC that can cover the specific you know, stage. But what I'm saying is look around and understand who are these people, because a lot of time if you are introduced or if people say, oh, this could be a good investor for you, maybe it's not. So always try to have a specific list from your side of real potential investors that are fitting your stage. And the best thing when you need to be introduced to them, it's talk with other founders. If you know that, you know, there is a founder that you know personally that received money from a business angel and can help you, for example, to get an introduction to him or to her, use this leverage, okay? Or scout yourself in, you know, in the ecosystem. There are plenty, I think, group of now free database, Open VC. I put now in the chat. If you go to OpenVC, Stefan Messer, I don't know if you heard about this guy. There is a free database in OpenVC that you go through and you can filter investors by the stage, by the country, and there is a list of, you know, investors that you can contact. So my suggestion is do not talk with strangers, and but you know, if a business angel that's saying I'm investing in pre-seed, when you are presenting your idea and you are pre-seed, they are saying no, you know, and you have all the profile aligned, maybe it's a matter of, you know, rule of the games, meaning that, you know, this person does not like your idea. But again, usually, this is another rule of thumb, you don't need just to speak with 1-2 people, but you know, at least you need to talk with 15-20. And when you're reaching this contact in terms of having a first interaction with them, then you can start to realize if you need to come back to your link canvas, to your business, and ask yourself why I'm not attractive. But you know, if you are receiving yes or no after 2-3 interactions with 3 people, I would say it's normal. But again, when you're looking again for a bigger number of interactions, maybe then you need to start to ask yourself what's going on. But again, coming back to your question, for sure there are people, investors that can help you in this at this stage. So no worries. I hope that.
Thank you very much. Great.
Okay.
Answer.
Okay, so coming back to our segmentation, so because I think that it's pretty time to start to close. Then you go back to the value map, so to your solution, let's say mapping. So again, you use the sticky notes and you start to map out. The order is to start from your product and services, so which are the product and services that can fit a specific customer profile, pain relievers, gain creators, and again, prioritizing. So which is the most relevant feature that I need to link to this solution in order to satisfy the customer's profile. What is important? Fit overview. This exercise, why is it important? Because when you have the sticky notes and you start to look around at the solution and you ask yourself, okay, is this feature that I'm developing needed? Then maybe you realize that, you know, this feature, it's not fitting, neither gains or pains for your customers. It's useless. Or maybe the specific feature is not really matching or satisfying this. So maybe you need to rework on the feature or change the feature. This is a very crucial job, okay? Now, here is an example. I think as we are, you know, now it's more or less 25 minutes before closing, I would like to have this exercise on the link canvas. So I will share with you this, so you can take a look at this example of a taxi app, okay, in Brussels, in this case. And you see how all the journey around the value proposition canvas should work. So it's just a business case we created that you can take a look at, of course. And then if you have doubts, questions, you can write me, or we can take the questions and doubts, let's say, in the next workshop, okay? Because if we go through this, maybe we took a lot of time now. But what is important? Test your customer assumption. So you are here, you are this, you know, left side person that you say, but the best fit is for you is this. So we are creating this app in order for you to fix these pain and gains. But then you see the customer in the right side is saying, no, well, I'm not looking for this kind of things, because when I'm doing my job, when I have this trigger event, I'm doing this. My pains are this and the gains are this. Then once you interact with them, you need to come back and, as in the link canvas, adjust the redesign, pivot. And then you are doing this exercise until you find the best fit between your product and the customer's profile. And so the problem solution fit is something that you achieved. How many interactions? So maybe coming back to Massi's question, N interactions. There is no specific recipe, but you know, you need to come back until you have this fit, okay? What is crucial, and this is something that when I will share with you the tool, I will ask you to fill out also this. For creating your value proposition for your company, for your startup, once you fill out the value proposition canvas, then you can fill this ad-lib template that it's helping you to write down in, let's say, 2 rows of text your value proposition, okay? Taking pieces that you wrote down in the value proposition canvas in this template. And then you can see which kind of value proposition it's coming out from this exercise, okay? So, summary. fill out the value proposition canvas, starting from the customer's profile, then going back to the value map of your product. Then validate. Of course, you can then fill out automatically the value proposition, the ad libs. Then once you have this set of assumptions, go to your customers, interact with them, and if the match with your customers it's not achieved, you need to go back, redesign, and then to come back to your customers until you don't reach a specific fit. So without questions,